Neuroscience is the scientific study of the nervous system, the brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system, its functions and disorders. It is a multidisciplinary science that combines physiology, anatomy, molecular biology, developmental biology, cytology, psychology, physics, computer science, chemistry, medicine, statistics, and mathematical modeling to understand the fundamental and emergent properties of neurons, glia and neural circuits. Neuroscience is an important and emerging field because it can help us understand how the brain and the body work, how they are affected by various health issues, and how they can be treated or improved. Neuroscience can also help us explore the biological basis of learning, memory, behavior, perception, and consciousness. Neuroscience has a long history that dates back to ancient Egypt and Greece, where people tried to understand the role and structure of the brain. Over time, neuroscience has expanded its scope and methods to include different approaches and techniques to study the nervous system at different scales. Neuroscience and business psychology are two related fields that apply the knowledge of brain science and human behavior to various aspects of business, such as leadership, marketing, decision-making, innovation, and customer relations. Neuroscience can help business leaders understand how the brain works and how to influence and motivate others. It can also help them improve their own decision-making, creativity, and emotional intelligence. Business psychology can help businesses understand their customers better and design more effective products, services, and strategies. It can also help them enhance their organizational culture, performance, and well-being. Neuroscience and business psychology are both emerging fields that offer new insights and opportunities for businesses to gain a competitive edge and create value for their stakeholders. Neuroscience can help leaders improve their decision-making, creativity, emotional intelligence, and resilience. It can also help them understand how the brain responds to change, stress, feedback, and learning. Neuroscience can also help leaders create a positive and productive organizational culture that fosters innovation, collaboration, and well-being. Leadership can help neuroscience translate its research into practical applications and solutions. It can also help neuroscience communicate its insights and discoveries to a wider audience and generate more interest and support for the field. Leadership can also help neuroscience collaborate with other disciplines and sectors to address complex and global issues. The neuroscience of leadership can benefit educators in many ways. It can help them understand how the brain works and how to enhance their own and their students' learning, motivation, creativity, and well-being. It can also help them improve their leadership skills, such as decision-making, emotional regulation, collaboration, and change facilitation. Some examples of how the neuroscience of leadership can benefit educators are: educators can use neuroscience to design more effective and engaging curricula and pedagogy that align with how the brain learns best. For example, they can use principles such as spaced repetition, interleaving, retrieval practice, feedback, and metacognition to enhance memory and retention. They can also use strategies such as storytelling, analogies, visualization, and emotion to capture attention and interest. Educators can use neuroscience to foster a positive and supportive learning environment that promotes growth mindset, resilience, and social-emotional skills. For example, they can use praise and feedback that focus on effort and process rather than ability and outcome. They can also model and teach self-regulation skills such as mindfulness, breathing, and relaxation to help students cope with stress and anxiety. They can also encourage and facilitate social interactions and collaboration among students to build trust and empathy. Educators can use neuroscience to improve their own leadership effectiveness and well-being. For example, they can use neuroscience to understand their own strengths and weaknesses as leaders and learners. They can also use neuroscience to enhance their decision-making by avoiding cognitive biases and emotional traps. They can also use neuroscience to manage their emotions and moods by practicing self-awareness and self-care. They can also use neuroscience to communicate more effectively and persuasively by using techniques such as framing, priming, and mirroring. Neuroscience apps and tools that can help educators design more engaging and effective learning experiences based on how the brain learns best. For example, Haiku Deck can help educators create stunning visual slide decks that evoke emotion and capture attention. MindMeister can help educators and students collaborate on mind mapping projects that mimic how the brain organizes information. Evernote can help educators and students organize everything and integrate different sources of information. Neuroscience insights that can help educators improve their own leadership effectiveness and well-being. For example, neuroscience can help educators understand their own strengths and weaknesses as leaders and learners and how to leverage them. Neuroscience can also help educators understand how cognitive biases and emotional traps affect their decision-making and how to avoid them. Neuroscience can also help educators understand how emotions and moods affect their brain and how to practice self-awareness and self-care. Neuroscience can also help educators understand how communication affects the brain and how to use techniques such as framing, priming, and mirroring to communicate more effectively and persuasively. Educators can learn more about neuroscience tools and insights by reading books, articles, blogs, and newsletters that explain neuroscience concepts and applications in an accessible and practical way. Watching videos, podcasts, and webinars such as Neuroscience and the Classroom, Making Connections by Annenberg Learner. There are also professional networks and workshops that focus on neuroscience. Experimenting with neuroscience tools and insights in the classroom and reflecting on your results can expand an educator's knowledge. Trying to utilize some of the neuroscience apps and tools mentioned earlier, or applying some of the neuroscience insights to teaching practices are ways to improve neuroscience utilization in the classroom. Collecting feedback from students and colleagues can also help to improve practice.